Hello everyone, it's Cherie. Welcome to my channel. I hope everybody's doing well. So today I'm going to make I needed some tiny tags, and I wanted to have a different kind of focal point. So I went through my old vintage dictionaries and I found some cute little images that were like Christmas themed, winter themed, and thought, well, I think I'm going to cut these out and use these. And I have done it before, but not to the extent of doing quite so many at one time, I guess you can say. So I'm kind of going to mass make these little tags, and the bases that I have, they're from a collage masterboard that I did. So I just, trimmed them down with my Big Shot and cut out the little tag shapes, and I had already cut out quite a few little images for focal points, and I just kind of wanted to cut a few more just so you could see what I do. And so my dictionaries, I think that's from like 3 or 4 different vintage dictionary images, and I love the images in the dictionary pages. They're just so sweet and cute, and I just really like them. So, and then I cut this one out just because I thought it was cute, and it was the word whisper, and it just showed a little girl whispering in her mama's ear. Not that that's, necessarily for Christmas, but I just thought it was cute and wanted to cut it out. So, so I'm just gonna spread out my tags, the ones that I want to do, and go through my my little focal points that I have. And my daughter is home from school, so I'm sorry if you can hear her in the background. The kids don't have school today. So so that's just a little angel, and I'm gonna ink around most of them, if not all of them, I think. And I'm just basically gonna streamline this process and ink around all my tags. They're not backed yet, so I'm gonna back them too and find some little bits to help make them stand out a little bit. So the first one I grabbed was this little angel, and I was thinking maybe I could put a piece of lace down here. And then I was like, well, I did make these little fabric clusters. And then I had also made a bunch of like little embroidery holly pieces to go on the tops of these little tags, because I knew that I was going to do little tags. And so I was like, well, I actually saw like on a piece of scrapbooking paper there was like little hollies, and I thought, I'm pretty sure I can just embroider that same image or something similar. It looked really easy to do, and so I just went ahead and made a handful of them, and I thought that they would be good little toppers for my my little tags. And that's what's in that other drawer, that drawer there. So it's just a bunch of random different little hollies, which I'm not an expert by any means at embroidery. I'm actually just beginning. I'm just learning, and I really like it, and it's fun, and I love the texture and the interest that it gives to your tags and your journaling cards. I don't know, it just kind of changes the whole look of it, and I just really enjoy it. So I also have a bunch of like little labels that, honestly, the little labels is kind of like what led me to be like, oh, I want to do some little tags because these labels are so cute. So, but yeah, I got to use my little labels on my little tags, and I was pretty happy with it. So those are my little embroidery pieces, and like I said, they're not a professional by any means, but they're still cute, even if they're a little wonky, I guess you would say. And they do add a fun touch to the tag. So what I did there was I decided that I would go ahead and kind of have the idea of what I wanted on the tag and glue down what I could, and then I would set the rest to the side because I knew I was going to stitch around them as well. And so that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm just kind of gluing down what I can at this point, and then I'm going to stitch around them and add my toppers and things like that. Because I don't want to add the topper and then stitch around it, because then I'd be stitching on top of my little toppers, and can't have that. Now can we? So the next one is just this really cute little elf. I just think he is so adorable. And the two little elves above him that are not on a tag, they're from an older dictionary. And it's funny because when I was looking at this elf and the other elf, I was like, man, elves sure did change between the times, let me tell you. It was kind of gave me a little giggle. So yeah, so I'm just gonna put my little labels down and figure out what kind of embellishment I want to go along with the tags there. So I wanted something that I could use to anchor that little tag there down, just because I know I say it all the time, but you know, I always think, well, maybe there's somebody that is watching for the first time and they may not understand my process, but I like to, the majority of the time, have something down that kind of gives my little label something to sit on, so it kind of anchors it to the page. And then that's my little embroidery piece that I picked for that one. And then I had a die that was for a teeny tiny little tag. Look at how tiny that thing is. I couldn't believe it. I didn't even know I had it. And so, you know, I couldn't resist. I had to cut out a tiny little tag. It would be good in like a little mini journal. But they were so cute. I was like, oh my gosh. But I don't know how you would embellish those because they're just so tiny. I do have some little mini eyelets, so maybe I could do that. But my little dictionary focal points, little images that I cut out, they were just a little too big for the teeny tiny tag. The little bitty baby mini tag. But I'm sure I'll find some use for them in the future. So what am I on to now? I'm on to this little boy. I'm doing this on my phone, so the screen that I'm watching is like teeny, it's small compared, it's like not the it's not the full length of my phone, and I don't have the greatest vision, so it's hard for me to see the image. Y'all, I'm sure, can see it a lot better than I can. But yeah, and then I also have these little I don't know, I guess they're like label word stickers, and I pulled them out just because they were small and thought, well, maybe, you know, they'll work. And you can see my little embroidery piece that I picked for the top of that one. And I think that they are, what are they from? I want to say Graphic 45, but I know that's not it. It's the other brand that kind of reminds me of them a little bit. Seven Gypsies, maybe? Something like that. But they're really old. I've had them, I don't know, probably 6 or 7 years. Had them forever. So, so there I go again, just putting down a little something to put my little mini label on. So when I, and these labels are from 7, I'll leave the link below, but I think it's like 716 or 712, 717 Studio, something along those lines. And when I get little labels like that, sometimes I will even, if they print like on an 8x10, I will shrink them down even more and just print the labels on like a 4x6 or a 5x7 and cut them out so that they'll be even smaller than what they originally are. That's just a little tip in case you want your labels smaller. Don't print your labels on the regular size, your 8x10 size. Print them like 5x7 or Probably 5x7 is the best, because I think 4x6 would be a little too tiny. So that little, those little elves, the little ancient elves, because I think that dictionary was from like the 30s or the 40s, maybe the 40s. I don't know. It's the oldest one that I have, anyways. And they were just a little bit too big for the little tags, so I just grabbed a size up that I had cut out and went with that one. So I wanted to make sure that I put, or not make sure, but I was just in the mood to put like lace and little fabric pieces and whatnot on my tags, just to kind of give it a little bit of texture as well, different kinds of texture. And so that's why I have that little roll of little lace there to the left of me. That's one of my favorites, and I use it all the time. Pretty much anytime I'm crafting, I've got that ball of lace there right within arm's reach. So yeah, so I'm gonna put my little lace there, put that embroidery piece on it, and then I'm just putting it off to the side because I have to stitch first before I can glue anything down. I could have went ahead and stitched around all of them, like right then. I could have just stitched it and then done it, but I kind of felt like the process would be a little bit faster if I, streamlined it, decorated them all, and then stitch them all, and then, put my backing on and then stitch them all. So now I'm on to the next one, and I gave that one just a little something to stand on because she looked like she was literally floating in the air. So I just put a little piece of washi tape down for her to stand on, and she's just a cute little ballerina. I think she's I don't know. I can't see it. Y'all can see it. I can't see it. So then I have these little labels here too, and I can't remember. Let me look at them really quick. I'm gonna make some noise, y'all. Sorry. If I can find them. Okay, yeah. They're just a set that I got. I think I got them from Hobby Lobby. And I really like them because they're tiny. They have all different sizes. And they kind of were like gold. They were kind of shimmery. And they're called Firefly. But the white was just a little bit too white. So I kind of inked it up a little bit. I don't know if I've done that yet or not. Because I wasn't watching. But yeah, I just went with the black one. Because the black outline. Because her little shoes were black. So, and they were cute. They were like the old little Mary Jane shoes. So then I have this one of this little girl opening a present. And granted, she's not in Christmas colors, but she is opening a gift. And I thought she's too cute to just not use her. And it is somewhat related, even though it's pink packaging. But she's got a little green dress on, so I think it works. And I guess that one was already backed. So yeah, so I'm going to stick her down. Her cute little self. So I like to have different types of focal points. I don't want to just stick with like a printable, which I love printable focal points, but I like to have a nice little variety. And so I'll do things like this, or you can do stamps, or I've used like images from vintage magazines before, and die cuts and things like that. So just to kind of switch it up and do something different, and that's kind of where my mindset has been lately, is that I really want to try different things, because I don't want to get, I kind of want to break out of my little box and, try different things that I've never done before or don't do very often. So that tag there, those, that image, I think they were little boys and they were ice skating maybe. And I had to use a bigger tag again. And this one I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this because I wanted to use some cheesecloth on it. And I didn't want the cheesecloth to go everywhere. I wanted it to be under my focal point and kind of, poking out a little bit so it would be like they were on the snow. So it kind of has its own little story with it, So I just went ahead and backed this one because I just kind of felt like it needed it at that point in time. And I grabbed some sari because I think I wanted to scrunch it at the bottom so it would give it more of a puffiness to it, I guess. Like a more snowy feel for that image to rest on. Yeah, so I just kind of took just a little bit of cheesecloth and I'm just going to spread it out so it's going everywhere and put it down. So it's like, I've seen snow, but I haven't seen like a ton of snow before. I've only seen little bits when I was younger. And so, being in Florida, we don't see snow. So I was like, let me dress this up just because it's not something that I've experienced. And I was like, let's do it. So it's just going to kind of be my little imagination of snow there on the bottom. But the tag topper there, that says, hopefully you can see it, it says together. And I stitched that. What I did was I took like a tiny word stamp and I stamped it on some muslin and then with like a really light color stamp. And then I just stitched over top of it because there's no way I'd be able to freehand that word together so nicely. I'm sure it would look like a little 3-year-old if I tried to do it by hand. But yeah, and then I put a label down and I put a little word there too. And I think I stitched it. Yeah, that one you can see it's stitched all the way around. So I just went ahead and did that one all the way. But, you gotta double check and make sure that's what you really want. So, yeah, so I went with the together. And there's my little, I don't know if they're ice skating or if they are, because I know one image they were ice skating and one they were like doing a snowball fight or something like that. So, yeah. But that's kind of what the tags will be like. And I really like it. I think it's super cute. So I am going to do, oh, and that's a little Eskimo there. Little Eskimo kid. He's cute too. They're all cute. So I'm going to try this tall document style journal, I think next. But I was kind of thinking, I don't think I'm going to have time. Originally I wanted to do it in a Christmas, like a Christmas one. But I just don't think I'm going to have enough time before December gets here. I have quite a few things coming up. My girlfriend is moving and I'm going to be helping her move and helping her with the kids and stuff. And there's a Renaissance fair that is in town, or not my town, but it's in Florida. I think it's over in like Sarasota or something, and I think we're going to try to go to that coming up, which I'm super excited about. I've never been before, but I love all that kind of stuff, the knights and just the old Middle Earth type things. But yeah, so I'm going to go, we're going to take the kids and my brother's going to come, and so I'm excited about that. But anyways, back to the tall journal. So yeah, so I just don't know what to do. I don't know if I should try to put the pedal to the metal and do a Christmas one, or if I should just do a different style. And if I do a different style, what style? Should it be themed? Should it just be a random? I don't know. What do y'all think? Kind of stuck. So enough of that, I guess. So I'm doing this one here, and I think that's the one of the little girl. They were just cute. I just thought they were cute and thought that they would be fine for Christmas because they were cute. And then there's this little boy in his blue jacket. And then I had these other little mini labels that I think I got from Junk Journal Studio, and I'll link her below too. And I hadn't really used very many of them. I bought them, but I hadn't used very many at all. And I was like, let me go ahead and use a little label too. So I'm just kind of trying to figure out which topper I want to go on there. And I think a couple of them I didn't put a topper on just because I felt like they didn't really need it. So I'm just, doing what I've done with the other ones. I'm going to ink and figure out what little embellishments will go good. I just think that little boy is so cute. And I always ask, which one is y'all's favorite, so y'all will have to let me know. And thank you, Miss Paula, for always answering that question. And yeah, so I'm just gonna glue these down, and I think that, if I'm not mistaken, I think I used my little tiny attacher, and I still haven't found my multicolored staples. I've been looking, but they're lost in the abyss, I guess. But it would have been really nice to have like a nice little red or green staple there. So yeah, so I just used my stapler, and so, it just kind of looks like the staple is holding on that little tag, so it doesn't look like it's floating because it's anchored at the top. And it gives a good little decorative element as well. I mean, it's still super cute, even though it's a regular staple, but it could have been so much more with color. No, I'm just kidding. It's fine. So yeah, so I'm just using my little labels. And then now I'm going to go ahead and back all these tags. And I have this paper that I totally forgot I had, and I just ran across it the other day. And it's just a craft paper with these polka dots on it, but the feel of the paper, like the paper weight, I don't know what the heck it's made out of, but it feels different, and it's lightweight, and I just really liked it a lot. So I decided to go ahead and just use this craft paper to back all these tags, just because it's different, I've done a lot of ledger backing, I've done tea-dyed, I've done like printed stuff on the back, but I hadn't really done much craft colored. So I was like, let me do the craft paper just for something different, because that's what I'm trying to do. So now what am I doing? It looks like I'm thinking. I guess I'm getting them all lined up so that I can stitch them. And then here they are all stitched. And then I'm going to go ahead and put all my little bits on that need to go on them. So I'm going to put my little embroidery pieces on the top and glue my lace bits down as well. And I'm going to talk about the tall journal again, just because I'm thinking about it. I don't think that I've ever really used like a full printable kit other than Christmas, like in a journal before. Like, how, well, y'all know there's a ton of journal kits out there, but I don't think I've ever used a kit, like the whole kit in a journal. So I was kind of thinking that that's what I would do. I would give that a go, just because I've never done it. Usually I use, like my scrapbooking papers and ledger paper and all different other types of papers, but I've never really used a kit before. So I think I might do that. Try to find me a kit and go with that. So yeah, so I'm just gluing that on there, those little pieces. And like I said, they're not an expert embroidery piece by any means, but they sure are cute. We're gonna call them shabby, you know, because that's what we're gonna call them. They're a little shabby. And they were really quick and easy to do. I mean, I just did like a little couple of French knots, and then I didn't even do like a special stitch. I just did just a regular stitch for the leaves and stuff. So yeah, I just sat in front of the TV and watched my show and stitched away. And that reminds me, I started watching this show. It's in its 3rd season, and it's called it's on Hulu, and it's called Only Murders in the Building, and it has Steve Martin and Martin Short and Selena Gomez in it, and I love it. It's a good show. Like, my husband and I have been watching it together, and there's not a whole lot of shows that we really agree upon. We kind of have 2 different style tastes when it comes to TV. But he was like, I didn't know about this show back in the beginning, but I love it. It's good. I was like, I know, right? It is pretty good. My dad was actually telling me about it the other day, and I was like, well, let me check it out, because I needed something new to watch. But yeah, we're in the 1st season, and it's a different kind of show. It's kind of cool. So there's my little elves. My little ancient elves there. And then my Fabri-Tac, you know, I always, excuse me, I always struggle with that thing because it never wants to cooperate with me. The glue is amazing, but the bottle is terrible. It's always leaking out, or I don't even know. It like has a mind of its own. And then right where it meets the bottom piece of the pointy nozzle meets the round piece, it always like cracks and breaks there, and then glue comes out of there, and I'm just like, ugh. And it's so expensive too. It's a pricey glue. I'm like, why does this happen? So yeah, so I'm adding my little toppers, and I think this one I'm gonna go ahead and stitch, and it's just a little, or maybe not, maybe I'm gonna glue it. It's just a little piece of like a crocheted bit, which I love to use crocheted bits for toppers as well. And there's my little Eskimo. And I thought with him I would do something a little different, and I would put a little eyelid on the top, but I didn't like any of those colors, so I had this other little bag, and it had some like reds and greens and stuff, so I went with the little red one. And then I needed to get my my twine out, trying to keep it Christmassy, you know. And then my my Crop-A-Dile, I've not really used it for these little mini eyelets before, and so I was a little nervous that they would be too small, and that my Crop-A-Dile would be too big and it wouldn't work right. But it worked just fine, so I was happy about that. And I was glad that I was using a little one instead of a big one, because I always use the big ones and never use the little ones. And then I'm just gonna put my twine through so that this little guy has something a little different than the rest. I'm going to clumsily get it through there. Oh yeah, I couldn't get it through the hole. I had to use my little pokey tool there to get it in. But yeah, I like it. I think he works. So my little mini fabric clusters that I made, they weren't quite small enough for these tags. They were still a little too big. So I did have to, as you saw trim some down, and then that worked. But that just goes to show, when I make them small, sometimes I don't make them small enough. So these are the close-ups. Look at that little boy in his scarf and hat. Isn't he so cute? He looks like he's having a good time. They look like they're having a good time too on their sled. There's that little elf. And my little embroidery piece at the top. The little boy in his blue coat. So yeah, so that pretty much wraps up my video. I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and maybe you'll get inspired to use, a little different kind of focal point from your dictionary pages. And I really hope that y'all have a blessed day, and I hope that you're all doing well, and thank you so much for watching and commenting. Take care. Bye.